the Chainsmokers downloaded a track, about that. I've definitely seen a lot more growth and then a lot more social proof from bigger DJs as well and sending them out. My workflow has improved drastically. Like I don't need to spend like 3 hours brainstorming about shit. What am I going to make? It's now like, okay, I can spend like 10 minutes, record like content, and then I'll have content for the next week or so. From here now I have like the skills that I need to kind of go even further on your own. So if you do it on your own, you're going to spend potentially like a few years figuring it out. But if you do, the course or get some guidance, it's going to shorten that time. It's like, how much time do you want to wait before you have the know-how to get to where you need to be?
So before joining industry set, what was the biggest struggle you had? Like, why did you come to industry set in the first place?
Well, I really wanted help with my socials because I was a little bit lost. I wasn't really sure what I needed to do with them because I've been, in the industry for a bit, making tunes for a bit, and I was getting a bit of traction, but I really needed help with what kind of content to make and help around making a content schedule.
Do you feel like you've got a much better understanding now that we did all those run throughs of like what suits best for you?
Absolutely, dude. Like I have like a consistent content schedule now. I know what kind of content to make, and even if I feel like I'm not able to make content for the week, I still have like backups that I know that I can post. So yeah, I know my workflow has improved drastically. I don't need to spend like 3 hours brainstorming about shit. What am I going to make? It's now like, okay, I can spend like 10 minutes, record like content, and then I'll have content for the next week or so.
And I think I saw you post in school as well about some other results you were getting where like your speeds increased overall as well, and
Mm.
you're writing tracks a lot faster now as well.
Yeah, I mean, tracks were generally pretty fast prior, but
Yep.
definitely in terms of like making tracks for the sake of making content, using it for
Okay.
content, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I can smash out like a track for content in like an hour, and then the content takes like 15 minutes, and then I edit it. It'll take like an hour for three pieces of content. So if I need
Yeah, that's
like,
awesome.
yeah, it's fast. I can get really fast now, which is good.
That's awesome. I actually use you as a reference to other students when they complain that it takes too long. They're like, oh, it takes me like 5, 6 hours to do one video. And I'm like, no, like this guy does it in minutes. Like,
Yeah, I had a bit of experience prior to like, editing and that.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, just putting in the hours and just doing the same thing over and over and over again until it gets really fast.
absolutely. Yeah. You were already getting the reps in from the very beginning. I noticed from the very start of
Literally.
the program, you were already posting daily, basically. So,
Yeah.
and it's great to see the overall average on socials. I haven't been keeping an eye on your TikTok and YouTube Shorts as much as your Instagram because
Yeah,
your Instagram's where it's popping the most.
it is.
But it looks like the overall average, you can go from the very start and you can see like you're getting like 2K, 4K on average, and now it's like 10K, sometimes even upwards on average, which is great.
Yeah, I'd say even lower. It was at like not even a K price. Sometimes there were videos that had like 600
Yeah.
views, but now like when I post a piece of content and I know it's shit, and I'm like, I have like churn this one out, but I'm like, I just want to get it done for the sake of
Yeah.
getting it done. It gets like at least, a couple of thousand, maybe one to two. And those are like the worst vids.
Yeah. And I can tell
Great.
you're still experimenting a little bit more with some like new types of videos,
Oh,
which
for
is also
sure.
really good. Yeah.
I think
Cool.
yeah, I think you have to.
Yeah, absolutely. Can't just keep posting the same thing. So besides those kind of results with the content strategy stuff, was there any other specific results that have happened over the last couple of months?
Well, yeah, I mean, we got tracks supported by heaps of bigger DJs. So the Chainsmokers downloaded a track, about
Yep.
that. And then a bunch of, still pretty intense DJs, not as big as the Chainsmokers, but still pretty like huge that have downloaded a few of my tracks and remixes and stuff. So yeah, it's I've definitely seen a lot more growth and a lot more social proof from bigger DJs as well and sending them out.
Fantastic. And I'm curious, why did you join Industry Set over other platforms? I'm sure you might have been looking at some other options as well.
Literally not. It was just you, man. Like the I think you posted something. I think I hit you up because I know you from the Defy days. So back in your
Yep.
previous, yeah, work thing, your bigger business thing. I know you from there. So I guess it was just kind of like I was thinking like, fuck, what do I do? Like, who do I look to first of all? I'm like, oh, well, I know this
Yep.
guy does a lot of stuff with music business, and then you hit me with an onboarding call, and from there we kind of went into like what my issues were, and then we
Yeah.
started going from there.
Did you have any skepticism when we first chatted? Were you like, oh, like,
Yeah,
what is this?
absolutely.
Yeah.
100%. I was like, why? Well, I was like, what am I like? What what can I get out of this? Like, what is the value? Am I going to get enough time? Because I know you have a lot of students. I was like, well, am I going to get
Yeah.
enough focus? Is it going to be worth it for me monetarily? But
Yeah.
I feel like I've definitely been able to. I mean, even in like the first, we did 12 calls or whatever, like,
Yeah.
or whatever, six, I can't even remember. And I was like, okay, well, I mean, from here now I have like the skills that I need to kind of go even further. Um, Obviously we still check in, which I need to do more of.
Yeah.
Fucking busy. But
Absolutely. Was
yeah,
there
I definitely feel like I know a lot more now, even after the first 12 weeks.
totally? And how do you feel about the future moving forward? Like, do you feel more confident and reassured about the direction you're going in now?
Absolutely, bro. I'm fired. Like I know I spend less time worrying about what I need to do and more time worrying about finding the time to do it, if that
Right.
makes
That's a
sense.
good way to think about it. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And one last question for you as well is if anybody
Yeah.
was watching this video and was on the fence about joining Industry State and was interested, what would be your advice to them about it, about your experience?
It's about experimenting and finding the time to do it on your own. So if you do it on your own, you're going to spend potentially like a few years figuring it out. But if you do, the course or get some guidance, it's going to shorten that time. It's like, how much time do you want to wait before you have the know-how to get to where you need to be? So I think if you're in a state monetarily where you can afford it and it's something that you're really, really passionate about, I think you should absolutely go for it. Um, but if you're willing to waste a few years trying to figure it out on your own, that's totally fine too. So
Yeah, agreed.
that's what
Because
that's what I'd say to somebody,
yeah, absolutely.
honestly.
And I think it's similar to like getting a PT, any of us,
Literally.
we could go to the gym and like eventually get really good and understand like all the like different ways of optimizing, muscle growth and like whatever your goals are. But if you just go straight to a PT and at least get a lot of the main concerns you've got out of the way, you're obviously going to speed up that process. So
That's it. I think it's with anything, any kind of mentoring
yeah,
ever. It's like if you're happy to waste or to spend the time learning, that's great. Um, but you're just gonna learn a lot of shit that's not relevant. And it's about streamlining what's good for you.